Hello and welcome to the Hytale Beginner's Guide, a guide for beginners by a beginner. My name is Threlash, and this series will show you how to play the awesome game Hytale, so make sure you subscribe to keep up to date on future guides. Today's episode is going to be all about building stuff, so we need some resources before we get started, so let's go gather some things. Now, while we're gathering things, I just want to show you down at the bottom that my pickaxe is actually breaking. So it might be a good idea to bring another one with us at some point on this gathering journey. In the future, there are things called repair kits where you can repair things on the fly. But say with me, everybody, that's for a future episode. I feel like I say that so often. Oh, and perfect. Look at this. We found ourselves a nice cave entrance. We're not going to go down there today. We'll do that very soon on our exploration episode, which will probably be the next one, to be perfectly honest. There are resources in that cave that we need. Now, I just want to get a couple more pieces of this mossy cobblestone, and we can start some building. Now, I got a little tiny bit turned around while I was picking some stuff up there, and I just want to show everybody up there. If you look up all the way at the top of the screen, you can see that I have a little compass up there, and you can see my little home there. If I zoom, or if I orientate myself right this way, we have Threlash's bed. So if I just keep running in this direction, I should make it straight to my bed, which is super helpful. Now, there's also a map, which we'll get to in a future episode. And here we are, home sweet home, or bed sweet bed, I guess I should say. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to open up the workbench and craft one of those. And I'm just going to go ahead and place this down off in, I don't know, this direction over here, just so it's kind of out of the way for right now. Now that I have this placed down, I'm going to go ahead up to it, hit F, and look at all the other options that we've got here. So we've got our normal campfire, bedroll, etc. But we also have some daggers now. We have a battle axe, a crude mace, short bow, and arrows, which is absolutely awesome. And just in case you didn't know, if chests are close enough to the workbench will take stuff out of the chest. I don't believe mine is close enough. I feel like it's about 6 blocks that it needs to be. But yeah, we have some new weapon options, and there are also tabs up at the top, and we can get ourselves some new tools as well, including a repair kit, which is super awesome, new hatchets, and we need some copper and iron and all that other stuff for the other things. Also up here, we have some more different workbenches that we can get. We can get ourselves a furnace, an armorer's workbench, blacksmith's anvil, tanning rack, the farmer's workbench, chef's stove, builder's workbench, furniture workbench, salvagers, and these other ones require a bit of an upgrade to the workbench that we have here. And then also over here, we have some tinkering stuff. So as you can see, we got a hay target, some metal spike traps, rails, rail carts, a training dummy, etc., etc. over here as well. Now, to upgrade this workbench, I need a couple of things. I need 30 pieces of iron, 20 pieces or copper, 20 pieces of iron, and some linen scraps. And oh boy, do I not have any of this stuff. But what I am going to craft right now, just so I have it on me, is I'm going to go ahead and craft myself a crude short bow. And as you just saw, there was a little progress bar that was here. Now, if I closed out of this before I was done crafting that bow, it will cancel it. So as you can see, I'm going to hit craft, and then I'm going to close out of this here, and I don't have 2 bows. Make sure that you're done with your bar before you close out. I'm also going to go ahead and craft up a couple of arrows as well. And now we have 40 arrows to shoot from our bow. And bows, believe it or not, can be used to block. You can do a little pushback aggressive block as well. And they attack just like your sword. Now let's see if we can shoot this horrible duck out of the sky with this bow. I'm a terrible shot, so we'll see. Nope. No, I can't shoot it. But I just want to show you what it looks like when you shoot something. So I've got this pulled all the way back and slap. It does damage. But look at this little guy. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Now what happens to the arrows, when you shoot them, they impale into the ground. And there's no way to get them back, unfortunately. But enough about the bow. Let's move on to building. Now there is another basic pocket crafting thing that I want to build here. And it is the builder's workbench. I'll go ahead and craft that. Put it in my inventory slot and place that down to our regular workbench. And I'm going to walk up to it, hit F like I would before. And now what it's asking is an input. And there are multiple things in my inventory that I can put in here. As you can see, I can put plant fiber in there. And what that's going to do is give us some rope. We can do rope diagonally. Some of the other things that we can put in there are logs. And logs have a lot of options. So your beech logs look like this, and you'll have your softwood roof, which is super pretty. And then your oak logs will look like this with hardwood roofs, and it's a little bit darker. Your ash logs look extremely, if not similar to oak, if not exactly the same. This is what your birch looks like. It's a little bit more modern. And then some other options that you have are things like stone, cobblestone. You can turn stone into decorative different things. You can even make roofs out of it. Now in the logs, there's also, other planks that you can make, nice ornate planks, etc., etc. With windows and ladders. And what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and make ourselves just a small little hut to live in. And thinking about it, I'm going to have to move these. And the reason is I want to push some of this back just a little bit, just to give us a little bit more space to work with. And look at that, my pickaxe is broken, so now it is less efficient. It takes way more shots in order for me to break stuff than it did before. So I have a couple of options here. I can use a repair kit. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. So my other option is just craft another one. And look at that, we're back to striking the block 3 times in order for it to break stuff. Now I gotta move base camp a little bit, and unfortunately there is stuff in this chest, so when I break it, it's all just gonna go kind of all over the place. So we just gotta let that stuff sit there for a second as we move our chest over here. And a nice little thing about chests is you can double them up. So what I'm gonna do now is just get a nice little basic foundation going so we can have a nice little home to live in. Now building in this game is building kind of like in any other block game, to be perfectly honest, where you just right click where you want to put the thing. You make a mistake, pick it up, try again. I think we'll go 9 across here. We'll go 9 across this way, and then we'll come down a bit. And I think something like this might do us pretty well. We might be able to get like a little porch or something on here. I think this will be nice. So out of all of our materials, the most that we have is oak. So it looks like we're going to be building most of the building out of oak. We also have a little bit of beech, but I think I want to save that for the roof if we have enough of it. And the birch stuff, I don't really know what we're going to use with this, to be perfectly honest. But, oh gosh, the night is happening already. Goodness gracious. All right, so what I think I'm going to do here is have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, I think a pillar of 4 for each corner. And man, when it is nighttime, it is nighttime. It is dark at night in this game. Goodness gracious. Place a few torches around just so everybody can see what's going on. Well, let me get a couple things crafted. I'll sleep the night away and we'll finish this build. All right, dawn of a new day. Here we go. So as you can see, I put like these little ornate planks on the bottom going around the entire thing. And what I had to do here is you put your oak logs in, you click on here, and you have the option to craft 1, 10, or 100 of them. So I just hit 10 a couple times, and then I had to hit craft about 3 times there. So that wasn't that bad. And I think now what we're going to do is just build up some of these walls. And it looks like we have at least a 3-block reach, which is absolutely fantastic. And if you crouch, you will not be able to fall off of the blocks either, which is pretty cool, but you can go down 1 block while you're crouching, so watch that. Now, I'm not being very efficient with my blocks. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these out of here for windows. And something I'm curious about here, if you put already crafted things, yes, you can craft them into other things. That's fantastic. Go ahead and craft these into their window variants. Fantastic stuff. I think we'll do a nice big open window on that side overlooking this way, and 2 nice big windows over there, and we'll figure out windows on this side a little bit later. Now, beech is what I want to make the roof out of, and I definitely don't think we're going to have enough logs for this other thing that I want to do either, because I want to make the porch out of this as well. Yeah, we're definitely not going to have enough for that. So we're going to have to go exploring for a little bit more beech wood. We're going to go ahead and craft ourselves a couple of doors. Get those placed in there. Fantastic. Now we have doors we can open. Honestly, I feel like I want this flooring for the inside too. But before we go exploring for some more beech, there is one more thing that I want to show you. Now, if we go ahead into our workbench, we can find ourselves a crude hammer. I'm going to go ahead and craft that. And what it says here in the description is used to alter the appearance of structural building blocks. So if I run over here and let's say I accidentally place one of these planks instead of this, I just right click on it and it'll change the appearance of that. Same with these as well. And if I go ahead and throw down a cobblestone, look at that, it'll change that too. But I gotta go find myself some more beach. Give me a minute. Well, I found some beech trees. I don't think it's going to be enough. But I went ahead and I made a couple of the shallow roofs here. And I just want to show y'all what these kind of look like. So you get those ghost blocks like we got in the first episode. And you can go ahead and hit the R key to rotate them if you need to. So if you're standing over here and you actually want this to go this way, you would rotate it just so it goes that way, right? Now, just like in other block games, you can kind of crouch and place your roofs down on the side of each individual roof block. And where the rotate feature comes in super handy is now I need to place these back here so I can go ahead and do so just like this. Hey folks, I got all the wood that I needed and I just wanted to show what else I've done so far. So if we just climb up my dirt pillar here, as you can see, I've got most of the roof in. I just want to show you a couple of key pieces for when you're building a roof. Now for this section here, I actually want flat roof. So what I'm going to do is I have to put this dirt here in order to make sure that I can get this flat roof in. And as you can see, based on the way that you're facing, it will show different textures. So what we're going to want to do here is actually pick this one up, and then we want all of our flat pieces to face this way here. Now for these roof areas, these sections here in the corner, what's going to happen is we actually want these to be corner sections that are conjoined together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two pieces here, one here and one here, and then we need to put one in the corner on each side. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one there because there is a way to get this to change into a corner piece. I just did it a little while ago, and of course now it's not doing it. Now I'm wondering if I have to bring this all the way over and then bring this to here. There it is. Okay, so you got to bring one of the edges all the way over, and then they will connect together when you put that final piece in. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I am just going to take care of this guy, I guess. There we go. What I'm going to do now is just fill in the rest of this roof. And then because I already have this one done, you'll notice that this will make some corner pieces for us as well. And what we're going to have to do is just put in a couple of pieces of dirt there and then fill in these edges here. Now to just show you the difference here, I have some shallow roof as well as the flat roof. And then more shallow roof. I'm just gonna, missed a couple of spots there. There we go. And then what I have going on here is just the regular roof, just to bring us into that singular peak here. I'll bring this all the way across. And then going across the top, we have to put dirt underneath for our flat roof here. And then we can go ahead and just place our flat roof blocks right along the top like so. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove my dirt staircase. And then inside, I also need to remove the dirt that I used for this beam. Now, I've added fences on the outside here, just again, you know, makes it look more like a porch. Oh, and I forgot some dirt. Look at me go. And there is the structure of our house done. Now, it's pretty basic. It could probably use a chimney somewhere, which we'll get to on a different day. And there are a lot of things outside that I want to add to this as we progress in this series. Now, for the inside, I actually did use some of that birch wood. And crafting birch into things gives you light wood, which is what this is. So I did use some of the light wood here on the floors, and I think it turned out absolutely fantastic. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my workbenches closer. I don't know if I'm going to put them inside just yet because I'm not 100% sure where I want each one of them to go. But to furnish our house, the next thing we're going to want to make is this furniture workbench, which is going to take a little bit of tree log and a little bit of stone. Go ahead and hit craft, and we'll place that down right over here. And what this is going to open up is some different chest options. We'll also get the option for some beds. We have these beautiful different lighting options, colored clay, different cloth blocks, gorgeous colored wooden walls, and then some random decoration that you'll be able to throw around your house. And there's also some seasonal stuff in here already, which I really adore. But as you can see, a lot of this stuff requires some extra material, like iron, as well as sandstone, wool, copper, and a lot of that stuff we'll go over in a different episode how to get. And what I'm looking for right now is this lumberjack bed. I would really love to sleep in a bed as opposed to on a bedroll, and we need some white cloth. And for that, we need some wool scraps. And to get wool scraps, we gotta find sheep. At this point, sheep spawn just like any other animal, so as long as you start running around and start exploring, you'll be able to find one pretty soon. Ah, there we go. Unfortunately for these sheepy babies, I need this sheep's stuffs. And we got our piece of wool scrap that we were looking for, so let's head home. I'll go ahead into my furniture bench, and I'm going to go ahead and craft some bolt of wool. We'll go to the white wool and we will craft that. We can go over to our beds and click lumberjack bed and hit craft. And now in our inventory, we have this beautiful lumberjack bed, and I think we'll choose this right here. Ooh, that's kind of obnoxious that it doesn't line up like that, but let's put our lumberjack bed right here. We'll interact, and it looks like our other respawn point is too close. Look at this. The following respawn point is too close. Minimum distance 500 blocks to the current and will be removed. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I want to proceed. Throwlash's bed, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one up. Now, as I've shown before, there are a ton of things that you can go ahead and craft in order to make your house kind of your home, essentially. So let's go ahead and make a whole bunch of stuff and see what we can kind of decorate with. Since this is going to be our bedroom, I think it would be a good idea to go ahead and have ourselves a wardrobe. Let's put a little platform over here. You know what? I think instead we'll do a little stool there. That looks more like a nightstand. Over here we'll have a little bed. Oh, over here we'll have a little table. Maybe we can put some chairs next to it, some shelving above there. I think that looks pretty nice. And of course, don't be afraid to decorate with the workbenches and such, as they are really nice looking blocks. And probably one of the best pieces of advice I can give you while building, break up rooms. Just break them up. If there's too much stuff going on and the room is too big, it's going to be very difficult in order for you to decorate it. So this bedroom here, we are going to put it in its own little space. And there we go. Bedroom has its own space. Perfect. Now we have other lighting options, but it's easy right now to just throw a torch. Well, it's not perfect yet, but I am figuring things out here. We've got our little books up here in our whatever the heck that is. I think it's a scroll. Anyways, if you wanna plop your cup down, you have to shift and click in order to plop it down. And I have been crafting a couple things and just placing a couple things down around here that I think just give the place a little bit more character. Don't forget, folks, you're telling a story, all right? When you build something, you're telling a story. So this is me living my best life out here, and, you know, I kind of forgot to clean up a little bit. So there's been some mushrooms, and there's rubble all over the place, and I gotta make firewood for my little campfire, right? And sometimes I sit on these rocks while I'm doing this, and then I come over here, and I pull out my bow, and I do a little target practice, right? And I gotta be honest, for our first structure without a lot of tools and a lot of resources, I think this turned out pretty great. It could use a bit more, but we'll get there in a different episode. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Hey, by the way, I have a Discord too if you want to come hang out. Should be in the description of the video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!